smelling right, luscious lips, dancing as you walk away. Hey, what's going on? It's the Big D from the Big D Show, Divorce News Daily segment of our show. Let's jump in here and let's get some more information on how to progress during the divorce, after we get divorced, things to think about, things that other people go through that, maybe we're not aware of, or maybe things we hadn't thought of. This is a show where we kind of talk about that, and we use other people's stories to find out what they're going through so that we can avoid those mistakes, or at least have awareness to it, or find out answers to the questions that we're looking for. That's what this show and segment is about. So we're starting here with Jersey_San Diego in the divorce Reddit. He asked a question, says, how long after divorce or before it becomes finalized did you start dating? As the title says, how long after divorce or before it becomes finalized did you start dating? So he doesn't write a whole lot here, but we assume that he's probably in that process and he's trying to figure out, when is it okay for me to jump out there and start dating again? Well, I'll give my answer to that. I wasn't one who jumped out there too quickly. But I definitely had interest. I had an interest in someone at my church at the time. I did go back to the church a little bit when I found out I was getting divorced or whatever. That's kind of how a lot of us end up there, through some trauma type activity. So I did have interest in someone there. I did speak to someone there, but we didn't end up actually dating. And I tried a few things, just try to get some interest or whatever like that. But I was a single father at the time, and just didn't seem like it was something that was going to happen for me at that moment in time. Even though I was younger, I had my own place, I had a decent job, had my own car, had everything, but I was getting divorced, and so I think that turned a lot of women off. Now, the pool I was fishing in was very small because it was within our religious community. So I can't say that I have a lot of knowledge of outside the community at that particular time. At the time when I was getting divorced, at the time I was getting divorced, I can't say that I had a lot of experience outside of the church, dating outside the church, because it's just something that we didn't do, or that was really actually kind of prohibited. But generally, now looking back at it 15 years on, I would say it really depends on the person. What type of person are you? Do you really need that companionship? Are you capable of being alone? Are you capable, of handling all of your daily business? Washing your clothes, cleaning your dishes, cleaning house, and all that stuff. Are you comfortable doing all of that while working and everything else too? Or do you want some help with that? Do you need help with that? Maybe everybody's not acclimated to those types of things. Maybe just mentally everybody's not into that, type thing. Me, I got taught how to do all that stuff at an early age, so it doesn't matter to me. I'll just do it all. It needs to be done. I get to do all of that stuff, and that helps me to be a little bit more autonomous and to be a little bit selective with women too, because I realize I'm not dependent on them to do anything for me. I can pretty much do it all on my own, take care of myself, take care of kids, take care of cats, which I'm doing now, on my own, and not have to worry about somebody else help me do that. So I feel like it really depends on you as a person, how long you might wait before you start dating. It's going to be very difficult, or more difficult, when you are still attached to someone legally and you still have the paperwork, not signed, or the finalization of it is not done yet. There are going to be women who will be very suspicious of that because they're wondering why you haven't finalized your divorce. And a lot of times exes kind of get back together. So they may feel like, oh, you're just out here playing the field, or you're telling me that you're going to get divorced, but you're not actually going to get divorced. That's a common thing. A lot of guys will tell women like, oh yeah, I'm not with my wife anymore. I'm gonna leave her, or I've already left her, or whatever. We're separated. We're not together anymore. And then, when the baby is on the way, then they find out that they really is married and stuff like that. I actually sat here with a friend of mine at a friend of mine's apartment. Her friend came here from another city, and she actually got a phone call while we were all there from the guy that she had been seeing for the last couple of years. He was coming from the United States down here to Brazil and, making all these promises to her. He did tell her that he was married, but that he was not, he was not with the wife anymore or whatever. They were separated, they're getting divorced and all that stuff. He needed to sell the house, but he needed to wait, and I think until his daughter went to college or something to sell the house or something he was telling her. And while we're sitting there, the phone call comes in and he's telling her, hey, I can't see you anymore. I know that we've been seeing each other or whatever, but I'm not coming back anymore. I can't see you anymore and all that stuff. And it turns out his wife found out that he was coming to Brazil and dating this girl. And she made him get on the phone and call her and tell her that they're not getting divorced. They're still together and that they're not gonna be breaking up. So there's no hope for this girl. And it really broke her heart. It really hurt her. I think she even had some other issues mentally and all that kind of stuff where she had to even go into a hospital or whatever and get evaluated a little bit, make sure everything is cool, which is fine. But you could see how it kind of hurt a person because she just spent 2 years thinking like she had this person who's claiming that they're getting divorced and they not. So these guys run this game or whatever all the time. So there are going to be women that are going to be extremely wary of someone who's like, oh, well, when is it finalized? When is your divorce going to be finalized? They're going to want to know that, right? So I think that's important. To maybe finalize it first and then get out there and start dating. I think if I had to do it again, and I'm in that situation where like the world is my oyster or whatever, I'll keep my eyes open for a good woman. I'm not saying that you won't find one, but I'd probably want it to be, taken care of first. But you guys might be different. So you guys in the comments tell me what you think or what your experience has been, and how you got, how soon you got involved with someone else. Let me know that, and maybe we can have discussion on it. Maybe this person, Jersey, San Diego, can get some more clarity on what they might want to do. But just remember, everybody's an individual. Everybody is a different person. Everybody has different needs and wants and all that stuff. So we can't really tell you when you should. We can only go by our experiences and our personal experiences and things we've seen and our needs and wants. So so let's move on. Let's kind of move on to this next one here. Let's see what we got. We've got ex-wife engaged less than 7 months in the Divorced Men Reddit. This is master of -XC. I think he's a trader, right? Because XC.com is a trading, so he's a master of that. So that's cool. He's a guy after my heart. I'm a trader too. He says, so I found out yesterday that my ex-wife is now engaged in about less than 7 months to her new guy after I said, nice rock and congratulations. Took the wind out of her sails. Even less time than she was with me. Don't get me wrong, the guy is a great guy, okay? Has 3 kids, 1 is already married from his first marriage, and 2 more that are around my daughter's age, 5 years old. I also found out that my ex-wife is planning on quitting her job to move in with him. He lives in Kansas City, owns a bison farm. That's a lot of information. I just want to point out that I see this as a sign from the Lord Almighty to move on and live a free life without having the ex-wife in it. We both have 50-50. That will never change. I guess she found someone who could provide for her with a better lifestyle than I ever could. All right, so we're going to tear this one up a little bit here. All I'm going to say is, as a man, don't do this. Don't do this. You're a man. You're a man. Stand on your own too and be who you are. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of what you have. Be proud of what you provide. You're taking care of your daughter, right? Don't worry about what your ex is doing. Your ex doesn't define you. They don't define how you live, or who you are or your worth. And it sounds like he feels like he's worth less than the new guy, right? Just because she's moved on, right? It's been less than 7 months, right? She's engaged to get married. We just talked about this in the last segment. How long do you wait? After the finalization of the divorce, how long do you wait to find someone else? She found hers in 7 months. We don't know why she felt like this is a good move for her. Sounds like the guy has some means. He's been divorced as well. So sometimes when two people have been divorced, maybe they try to kind of attract each other in a certain way because they have shared experiences or whatever. And then, of course, both of them are telling the side of the story that makes themselves look good. And so it's easy to kind of fall into that compassion for the other person because you've had the experience that they've had. And when you're talking about yourself in a light like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong, she was the one who did wrong, or he was the one who did wrong, and they were so mean to me, and they were not good to me. The other person can kind of relate to that because they kind of feel in the same way, like, oh yeah, my ex was like this or whatever. They probably trading stories and all that kind of stuff. But that's almost surface level and superficial, and it's something that may not last. So you can't be jealous of your person moving on, your ex moving on, because you don't know what they're moving on to. Everything might look good. So he's calling him a great guy. I don't know how he knows that he's a great guy. Why are you even researching that deeply? Why would you care who she's with after you're gone? After she's gone from you, who cares who she goes with? It's no longer your responsibility. Listen, if somebody's going to take your problems from you, let them take your problems. Why are you fighting to keep your problem? I get it. She's, you had a child with her or whatever, you loved her and all that kind of stuff or whatever. Maybe doesn't sound like it was him who was initiated divorce. I can tell you right now, just from reading this, it sounds like he was the one who wanted to stay together. She was the one who pushed for the divorce. That's why she was able to move on so quickly, because it was her decision. We talked about that in the show that we did last, right? Or two shows ago. I forget the name of that video exactly, but you guys got to binge watch so you can find it. But yeah, the reason why she's able to move on so quickly is because it was her decision to leave. She finalized it in her mind, and there's nothing you can do about it. So don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing. Once she's stepped out of your life, if it doesn't have anything to do with your child and your daughter, let her go and have her whole life, because you never know how that's going to turn out. It's not that you want to be spiteful and wish pain or hurt on somebody, especially somebody that you say that you love. You want that to work out for her, right? You should want that to work out. As a man, you should want that to work out for her. Because you got all the options in the world. You have all the options in the world to go get you some great woman, right? You can find you a great woman that's 10 times better than her. But you're going to block that blessing by letting her stand in the doorway and prevent the new lady from coming in. So you got to get yourself together. Like we talked about that on the last show, like that I recorded. It was just, get yourself together physically, get yourself together mentally. Sounds like maybe financially you want to be in a better place, or you feel like somebody might have a little more than you, so they can move in a certain way that maybe you can't move or whatever. Put it in your mind to go get that, if that's what you want. You might want a woman that fits in the lifestyle you have now, but if you want more, go get more. You don't have her holding you back. You don't got the ball and chain on your ankle no more. You free. Go do what free men do, and that's get better. That's what we do. We get better. We progress. We become more successful. We find ways to do better. And trust me, the women will find you. You don't have to go looking for them. The women will find you, because just like your ex was looking for this guy and his bison farm, when you have something that they can see, they're going to be inquiring about you. And then you got a whole other can of worms that you got to deal with because now you're going to be attracting women who are just looking at you for your stuff. So I know you want to put God in and everything, think the Lord is giving you a sign. This is just real life. This is just what happens. I don't think the Lord is looking down on you and your relationship and telling you, hey, dude, you got to move on, pushing you got to move on. He gave you that ability to think about that when he created you. So it's not him telling you to do it. You're just exercising what he gave you, the ability that he gave you to move on from the situation when it's not right. Right? So that's all I'm going to say about that. I ain't going to go into that. So go ahead, live your life. He's free and clear of your ex-wife, just like you said, right? He said he thought it was a sign to move on and live a free life without having the ex-wife in it. Why is she in it even to begin with? You need to have her in it at the bare minimum. She should know nothing about your life except the fact that you keep your daughter. She shouldn't know anything about your life, right? And who knows? This situation with her ex might work out, might not. You want it to work out for your daughter's sake, because your daughter's got to go over there or whatever, be around her, whatever. You want that all to work out. You want him to be a good guy. right? You don't want her to be with somebody terrible because now your daughter's involved, right? So outside of that, though, you don't have no worries. This is not something that you really need to be worried about at all. But let's move on from here. We're going to go to MixFine6584. In the divorce Reddit says, any thoughts on why she became so cruel? Well, we ain't gonna go there. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking. It is now exactly 110 days since she left the house. I've tried everything to save the marriage, while she's tried everything to get as much money from me as possible. She's the hottest she's ever been, and it's killing me. She's already seeing another guy, it seems, and she's doing everything in her power to wreck me. I've asked multiple times if we can just sit and chat about it. She refuses, and it's extremely mean to me. She treats me like, I don't know what that's supposed to be. I have no idea. I'm going to read it exactly like he wrote it so you can understand why my eyeballs are going crazy. She treats me like a blew up a school of toddlers. Okay, we just going to move on. I financed and supported her for 12 years, and she couldn't care less. Does anyone know why a person would treat someone good in their life this badly? All right, here's another one of these. This channel is for men. This channel is for men, right? We need a safe space to talk about what we're going through, but one thing we're not gonna do is let you be suckers. You don't wanna be no sucker. You a man, stand up. Why are you letting a woman define who you are? Why are you that attached to her to let her define who you are and how you react? You're not weak. You're not weak. Stand up and be strong as a man. Now all of a sudden she's beautiful and she's this and she's that. Yeah, you provided for her. You gave her 12 years of your income, 12 years of your attention. She didn't appreciate it. So let her go. Let her go. You don't need her, right? You gave everything that you could give and it wasn't enough for her. Maybe the problem is not you. Maybe the problem is her. And maybe you just need to let it go. Stand up, be a man and say, you know, whatever. I can do the same thing I did for you for somebody else. I'm the one making that engine move, right? So yeah, she's out here dating somebody else, maybe. But what business of yours is that? Who cares? He's taking your problem. She's obviously your problem because you've tried to save the marriage. She don't want nothing to do with it or whatever. She's being vindictive towards you. She's trying to wreck the marriage or whatever. Why do you want that? She's showing you who she is, right? She's showing you who she is. Accept who she is. Believe her, because this is who she is. Because what I believe, I don't believe people change. I believe that people, when it gets rough and it gets crazy around the edges, I believe that people go back to who they are at their core. So this is who she is at her core. You don't want someone like that. You don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who's not willing to communicate about the relationship, not willing to fix the things that are wrong with it, not willing to, acknowledge the fact that you've been good to her, and is actively trying to do things to you to sabotage you and to take your money. And you're crying in a Reddit for her. You should be doing everything. You should be paying for her to go on dates with this dude. Because you want him to take that problem from you. So, like I said, sometimes we got to be real straight up about this. As men, we're not doing that. We're not doing that no more. Yes, it's great to have bleeding heart and to love a woman and to be in love. I was in love with my ex-wife. We didn't have a whole lot of issues and things like that. I was super in love with her or whatever like that. But I realized it's over. It's done. My turn is up. My time is up. I'm finished. I cut it off. And that's one thing that you're going to learn is to cut it off. So I'm going to jump on you too much, MixFine6584, but we want you to be a strong dude because you're going to need to be a strong dude when you get out here dating again, seeing another woman. You're going to find a woman and she's not going to want somebody who's weak. She wants somebody who's strong. And as a man, we want you to be strong. And as men, if we're not able to take criticism, we're not able to take advice, then what are we really doing? Right? Nah, we're not going to let you fall like that. We want you to be strong. We want you to put your muscles together. You know what I'm saying? You the man. You the guy. You know? If you're on a football team or whatever like that, and you crying because a dude hit you kind of hard or whatever, what they going to tell you? No, man, line up and take his head off. You know, your teammates are going to be like, boy, don't be over here crying. Either go home or you get out there on that field and you take his head off. One or the other. You know, you ain't, you know, this is man talk. We not finna go through that. We finna, you know, this is life. We're gonna approach life like men. So don't be in here crying about what your problem is doing now. Let that problem go. If somebody wants your problems, you let them have them. All right? So I'm gonna get out of here. I think I've been going on too long or whatever. This is gonna be a little bit shorter show today. You know, but yeah, y'all know where I'm coming from. It's the Big D Divorce News Daily segment of the Big D channel. They're trying to shut me down a little bit too. I'm noticing YouTube ain't showing my stuff no more. So please like, subscribe, watch the videos in full. That way more people can see the videos and we're gonna have a dope channel here, all right? All right, once again, the Big D, peace. Skin popping, smelling right, luscious lips, dancing as you walk.